We start off with President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi following up on Wednesday the industry development file and challenges facing the sector. This came during the President's meeting with Prime Minister Mustafa Madbouli, the Minister of Housing and Urban Communities Asim al-Ghazar, and the Minister of Trade and Industry Ahmed Samir. Presidential spokesman Ahmed Fahmy said the meeting comes as a follow-up to the implementation of the President's directives to intensify work on lowering obstacles and chronic challenges facing the industrial sector through a comprehensive effort involving all state agencies. In this context, the President was briefed with the ongoing measures and procedures, including simplifying and enabling tangled bureaucratic procedures to become favorable. The head of state also instructed to encourage existing and new investments, improve the management and governance system of industrial facilities. He also directed to give more effort to unify the state's entities dealing with investors to prevent distraction and reduce time and effort, as well as facilitating procedures for obtaining industrial investment as a platform for allocation of industrial land at the state level. Meanwhile, President el-Sisi held another meeting with Madbouli and Minister Samir, reviewing efforts of utilizing the industrial complex system and following up on the implementation of activities targeted at those industries and means of optimizing them. The President probed ways to cooperate with the private sector, whether local or international companies, and the current efforts to expand the investments in the industrial sector. With this respect, the President gave his directives to strengthen the role played by the private sector in the industry. The meetings of the Libyan Committee 5+5 concluded its activities in Cairo on Wednesday, with parties agreeing to achieve rapid coordination to accomplish a full implementation of a ceasefire agreement and expel mercenaries from Libya. The story. The meeting of the Libyan Military Committee 5+5 concluded its activities in Cairo on Wednesday in the presence of Special Representative of the UN Secretary General for Libya, Abdullah Vitali, and representatives of Sudan, Chad and Niger, as well as members of the National Committee concerned with the Libyan file. At a press conference following their two-day talks, the UN Libyan envoy said Libya's Joint Military Committee had achieved positive development. He hailed the fruitful talks held with the ambassadors of Sudan, Chad and Niger, whom he said had expressed their country's readiness to back ongoing UN Libyan efforts. Vitali further expressed his desire to visit the three countries to complete the exit of mercenaries from Libya. He stated that parties are working to achieve rapid coordination among them to accomplish a full implementation of the ceasefire agreement, which he said was closely related to the political development. For his part, the head of the Sudanese delegation stressed that his country would offer all possible support to Libya through data and analysis to apply the reached mechanism. The head of the Libyan Military Committee 5+5 hailed the UN Libyan envoy's efforts, which were aimed at reaching a mechanism that would expel mercenaries from Libya. Also, the head of the Niger delegation said the two-day meetings had witnessed important resolutions. Prime Minister Mustafa Madbouli said the government would start using a group of companies in implementation of the state ownership policy document with the aim of expanding the participation of Egyptian citizens in the public domain. In a press conference following a weekly cabinet meeting, the Prime Minister said that the companies include 8 economic sectors and activities according to the state ownership policy document, and they include 3 banks in full coordination with the central bank. Madbouli also said that a large group of those companies would be offered for the first time. He noted that the industrial sector is a top priority for the state, pointing out that the state is taking all the necessary measures in order to facilitate all procedures for the industrial sector. Madbouli tackled the efforts exerted in order to increase investments in the country. Egypt has sent 5 military planes to Syria and Turkey on Tuesday, carrying quick medical aid upon the directives of President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi. Earlier, President el-Sisi held a phone call with Syrian counterpart Bashar al-Assad, during which he offered his deep condolences over the victims of a devastating earthquake and wished a speedy recovery for those injured. The President affirmed Egypt's solidarity with Syria amid the painful loss, saying he had given directives to provide all possible aid and relief assistance to Syria. For his side, the Syrian president expressed appreciation to President el-Sisi for the well wishes, stressing Syria's pride in the historical fraternal relations that bind the two nations and people. In another phone call with Turkish President Recep Tayyip Erdogan, President el-Sisi offered deep condolences for the victims of the devastating quake and wished a speedy recovery to those injured. He affirmed Egypt's solidarity with the Turkish people and expressed Egypt's readiness to send all possible humanitarian and relief assistance to Turkey. For his side, the Turkish president expressed appreciation to President el-Sisi, hailing the ties that bind the Egyptian and Turkish people. Syria has requested assistance from the European